Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Harris again. Did you learn so much about Teddy Roosevelt in that biography that you've been reading? Let's take a look at another famous president that you probably have heard of. Let's read about Abraham Lincoln. But this is a different kind of text. Do you notice how these groups of text are set up? It doesn't look like the Teddy Roosevelt text, where the lines start at one side of the page and go across until they run out of room. That's because this kind of text is called a poem. Poems aren't set up like other kinds of literary text, or informational for that matter. Those kinds of texts have paragraphs. These groups of text are not called paragraphs because this is a poem. These groups of text are called stanzas. So this is a stanza, this is a stanza, this is a stanza. How many stanzas do you see here? That's right, 4. Another thing that makes poems different is that they have a rhythm, sort of like a beat, like in music. They also have words that rhyme. Some poems don't, but this one does. You notice the ends of some of these words sound the same to make some rhyme. You also read poems a little bit differently. Poems are set up so that you're going to take a pause at the end of a line. You see a comma here? I'm going to take a pause. There's a comma at the end of this line. I'm going to pause. There's no punctuation at the end of this line, but I'm still going to take a pause to help create that rhythm and rhyme. I'm going to pause here at this dash, and I'm going to make sure that I pause here, but because it's an exclamation point, I'm going to say it with a little bit more emphasis. Don't forget, there's also places where you can pause in the middle too. There's a comma here for a pause and a comma here. Let's give it a try. Read along with me. There was a boy of other days, a quiet, awkward, earnest lad, who trudged long weary miles to get a book on which his heart was set, and then no candle had. He was too poor to buy a lamp, but very wise in woodsman's ways. He gathered seasoned bough and stem, and crisping leaf, and kindled them into a ruddy blaze. Then as he lay full length and read, the firelight flickered on his face, and etched his shadow on the gloom, and made a picture in the room, in that most humble place. The hard years came, the hard years went, but gentle, brave, and strong of will, he met them all, and when today we see his pictured face, we say, there's light upon it still. Did you hear the rhythm in this poem? Within the stanzas, did you hear that rhythm and that rhyme? Give it a try. Read it along with your teacher again. Remember, you're going to pause at the punctuation. And even if there isn't any punctuation at the end of that line, you're still going to pause. Give it a try. Good luck.